Are you ready for the most radical, mind-blowing content on the internet? Well, then strap on, because you've just entered the Radical Zone. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of home movie making. Get ready to see some of the most unhinged, crazy shit in advertising history.
Image is everything.
Yeah, AI wrote that intro, and if this is what's taking our jobs... The advertising landscape in the 80s and 90s was wild, uncharted territory. From the extreme cringe of 80s anti-drug campaigns to the full-on boundary-pushing and, let's just be completely honest, hypersexualized, misogynistic advertising campaigns of the 90s, just completely unhinged. And that holds true for the camera industry. In fact, that seems to hold especially true in the camera industry. There was some weird stuff out there. So weird, in fact, that I'm actually uncomfortable starting the video off with some of these advertisements. I don't really want to show these until a little bit later into the video. We're gonna like warm up. Just kidding, I lied. We're starting with the weird stuff. Nobody made creepier commercials than Olympus. Olympus topped off all the creepy commercials. They had multiple ads basically showcasing the fact that you could take sneaky photos from a long range of random girls usually drinking from a water fountain, which makes no sense to me. I don't know if there's like some hidden messaging in that. I'm scared. I'm genuinely frightened to look into this, so I'm not going to. But like straight up advertising your camera to creep on girls. Number one, probably would have been really effective at that time. People knew how to make money. They were businessmen.
This guy!
I think it's crazy that like at that time, it took so much effort and there's so many levels of post-production because video was so hard to create at that time that an idea like that got greenlit, filmed, edited, put out, used as an advertisement without anyone blinking an eye at Olympus. Anyways.
Sure, the shutter's fast enough to stop the action. You try it, Peggy.
Really?
It's so simple to use, about all you do is focus. Click.
I just made a very important discovery. This is breaking news. I'm sure none of you have ever realized this before, but I'm about to open your third eye to a little situation that was going on. Misogyny in advertising was pretty bad. What? The advertising industry still is pretty bad about that, but historically was terrible. All kinds of like inappropriate remarks and stuff that just does not age well.
Make a man's camera a woman can use. Canon can.
It's so simple, even you can use it.
Really?
So like, ads were something else back then. They were something else.
EOS, the ultimate autofocus SLR. Great shots were never so simple. EOS, new from Canon.
Canon had just released this new super cool, super revolutionary technology. And their whole thing was like this new super fast autofocus that like anyone off the street could use. And you didn't have to be professional pulling focus anymore because the camera did it for you. So that was like a revolutionary thing. But the ads that they used to first introduce it are not like the autofocus is cool. The ads are like,
watch this man float through the air.
It has nothing to do with the actual feature that is so cool about this whole thing. I do question the idea of making a whole ad based around kids shooting each other, like first-person shooter style, in a school, running up and down the hallways. Like, that seems a little... I don't know. I would have not. I don't know if this was the best idea for an ad. All right, now that we've whet our appetite with a little bit of these really weird vintage photography ads, let's switch to some video-related content. Yes, we're going way back to the era of the VHS. As we're looking at these ads for these video cameras, these camcorders, if you will, a couple things I want to be looking for. There's been a lot of different eras of DIY filmmaking.
You got the Reputation era, the Lover era, the 1999 era, the Torture Codes Department era.
We started on film. Film was a crap ton of work because obviously it's freaking film. It's a physical piece of plastic that the light gets exposed to, and then you gotta take it out and soak it in your weird little magic chemical stew and like let it like bubble, and then odds of photography come down and like bless it. I don't know how film works. A lot of money, super expensive, got replaced by VHS, super cool magnetic technology. And then you got MiniDV, which is kind of like a little spin on that. And there was a massive boom in DIY at-home filmmaking because people could actually film and then play it back, which was, you know, as we all know, super cool. Where was I going with this? And then we went from that to digital. Again, another bump in the accessibility of at-home DIY filmmaking, the technology and just the prevalence of video content in our lives has changed dramatically. You know, back in the 70s, the only video a random person would have seen throughout their week was probably maybe once or twice going to the movie theater, maybe seeing a newsreel, if that's the thing that people actually did. I'm going to be completely honest, I have no idea how newsreels work. The amount of video content you were consuming was very minimal. But then as all these mediums, different camera technologies came into play, it became so much more easy to watch things. And so people went from just seeing a movie, you know, once or twice to, you know, broadcast TV in the home, watching the news, all that fun stuff, home videos, creating your own little home movies on special occasions, and then social media with the rise of that. Now we spend like 90% of our time staring at a screen watching video content. That's the main form of what we consume on most devices nowadays. And it's a real problem. It's an issue. I don't like it. And honestly, I really genuinely think people should stop. So the fact that you're watching this video right now, what are you doing? Advancing technology has changed the way video interacts with our lives. So I want to be on the lookout as we're watching these old VHS commercials. I want to see how they position the products that they're selling. Would people at that time be imagining a world where we can film anything we want all the time and consume it at any time we want? And just kind of see if there's any hints, any foretelling, any future knowledge that these companies might have had back then, and see how it stacks up to now. Anyways, let's jump into these.
My brother Dick bought a Magnavox camcorder. Gonna shoot TV movies, right, Dick?
Sure.
Big lights, the whole thing.
Don't need lights. With this, I could shoot by candlelight.
The features are interesting to me. The fact that he's saying you don't need lights with this because it's so great in low light. Meanwhile, the actual ad, which I'm imagining is shot on at least similar technology, it's grainy as hell. So like, you probably need some lights. I would recommend some lights. Speaking of like then and now style advertising, low light is still a huge thing that people talk about all the time. It's a million times better now than it was then, and people still talk about, you know, the quality of low light and the ability to capture in low light.
Sharp, the only 12-to-1 zoom camcorder.
Hold up.
2, zoom in. Sharp, so fully automatic, just turn it on and shoot. The Sharp 12-to-1 zoom camcorder. That's nobody gets you closer to the ones you love than Sharp. From Sharp minds come Sharp products. Nobody gets you closer to the ones you love than Sharp.
Something ain't right.
This ad's funny.
Order that sees and hears every move. The new Sony Handycam. Where will it pop up next?
So the whole premise, every time someone tries to do something suspicious, the Handycam pops out and captures it. And it's like, cool, because this camera's so small, people don't even notice it, capturing them doing illegal things. This kind of ties back to what I was talking about, like how people envisioned what these cameras would be used for then, versus the world we live in now where it's so easy to film anything all the time. I just read this article the other day about video footage from a cell phone. Somebody was, you know, filming on their iPhone, and those videos were being used as evidence in court. So this like kind of whole gag that they're doing, like these guys doing illegal things and being captured by a camera that's so small they didn't know it, came true. All right, I'm gonna have to interrupt myself right there. I have no more time, so thanks for watching. Bye.